Welcome to Fluent English Daily, the professional way to master the English.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fluent English Daily. We are so happy you are joining us today for this talk.
Hi, Emily. Hi, everyone. It is so nice to be here with you today in our little studio.
Today, we are talking about a very special topic. We want to explain Suhoor and Iftar in English for all our friends.
Oh, that is a great idea. Many people ask about these words during the month of Ramadan.
Exactly. It is such a peaceful and beautiful time for so many families around the world.
It really is. I remember learning about the pre-dawn meal Ramadan traditions recently. It sounded very early, didn't it?
It is, and we will also talk about the iftar meaning and how to describe breaking fast in English.
Wow, I am excited. I see why people love this time. It feels very safe and warm.
I agree. Let's start our conversation now. Special time of year for so many people around the world.
It really is, Emily. I always see my neighbors waking up very early, even before the birds start singing. I always wondered what they were doing.
They are having their first meal of the day. Today, we are going to look at Suhoor and Iftar in English, so we can all understand this beautiful tradition better.
I see. So that early meal, what do we call that exactly?
That is called Suhoor. If we want to use a simple name, we can call it the pre-dawn meal Ramadan.
Pre-dawn meal. That makes sense. Pre means before, and dawn is when the sun starts to come up. So it is the meal before the sun.
Exactly, John. You got it. It is usually a very quiet time. Imagine the whole house is dark and only the kitchen light is on. People eat things that give them energy for the long day of fasting.
Wow, I can imagine that. It must feel very peaceful. Do they eat a lot of food then?
Well, it depends on the person. Some people like big breakfasts like eggs or bread. Others just have some yogurt and fruit. But the most important thing is drinking lots of water.
Oh, right, because they cannot drink water during the day, right?
Exactly. No water and no food from sunrise until sunset. So that pre-dawn meal Ramadan is very important to keep the body strong.
I see. It sounds like a big challenge, but also a very spiritual time.
It is. It teaches patience. And then, after a long day of waiting, comes the evening. This is my favorite part to talk about.
Is that when they finally eat again?
Yes, and there's a special word for that too. It is called iftar.
Ah, iftar. I have heard that word. What is the iftar meaning when we talk to our English-speaking friends?
When we explain the iftar meaning, we usually say it is the meal to break the fast. In fact, the most common way to say it is breaking fast in English.
Breaking fast. It sounds like breakfast.
Haha, you're right. It does sound like breakfast. And in a way, it is. It's the first time you eat after a long time without food.
Wow, I never thought about it that way. So how does it start? Do they just start eating a big dinner right away?
Usually, no. Most people follow a tradition. They start with something very small, usually a date fruit and a glass of water.
Just a date? Surprised. I would be so hungry. I would want a giant pizza immediately.
I know what you mean, John, but think about it. If your stomach is empty all day, you have to be gentle with it. A date is sweet and gives you a quick boost of energy, and that first sip of water, they say it tastes like the best thing in the world.
I can believe that. After 14 or 15 hours with no water, that must be amazing.
It really is. Then, after the small snack, people usually pray and then sit down for a big meal with their family and friends.
I love that. It's not just about the food, is it? It's about being together.
Exactly. It's a time for community. People invite their neighbors and friends. It's a very happy time.
So if I'm talking to my friend who's fasting and I want to be polite, I can ask them, "What time is your breaking fast in English today?"
Yes, or you can just ask, what time is iftar? Most people know that word now, but it's good to know both because we're learning suhoor and iftar in English to help us communicate better.
Right. So suhoor is the morning and iftar is the evening.
You got it. Suhoor is the pre-dawn meal Ramadan, and iftar is the sunset meal.
It sounds like a very disciplined way to live for a month. It must be hard, but also very rewarding.
It is. It makes people think about those who don't have enough food every day. It makes you feel very thankful.
Wow, that's a beautiful way to look at it. I feel like I understand it much better now.
I'm so glad, John. It's all about sharing these moments and understanding different cultures.
Aha! And the food always looks so delicious in the photos I see online.
Oh, it is. Every country has different special foods for iftar. Some have soup, some have special pastries, some have big plates of rice and meat.
Now I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
Me too. It's such a warm and inviting atmosphere.
I think it's interesting how language helps us connect. Using words like pre-dawn meal or breaking the fast helps me explain my own feelings too, even if I'm not fasting.
Exactly. Language is a bridge. When we learn how to talk about suhoor and iftar in English, we're building a bridge to our friends.
I really like that. It makes the world feel a bit smaller and friendlier.
It really does. And you know, many people who are not Muslim are sometimes invited to an iftar dinner. It's a great way to experience the culture.
Really? I would love that. Should I bring something if I'm invited?
That is a great question. Usually, bringing some sweets or some fruit is a very nice gesture, but the most important thing is your company.
I see. So I would tell them, "Thank you for inviting me to your breaking fast in English celebration."
Perfect, John. That is very polite and clear.
Haha, I'm learning so much today. It's not just about the vocabulary, it's about the feeling behind the words.
Exactly. That's why we do this. We want everyone to feel comfortable using English to talk about the things that matter to them.
I was thinking, is there a special name for the whole month or just the meals?
The month is called Ramadan, and it's the month when suhoor and iftar happen every single day.
Right, right. So it's like a daily cycle. Wake up early for suhoor, fast all day, and then celebrate with iftar at night.
You've got the perfect summary. It's a cycle of patience and then celebration.
I love that. It's actually very poetic when you think about it.
It really is. I hope our listeners feel more confident now when they hear these words or want to talk about them.
I think they will. It's much simpler when you break it down like this.
Exactly. Well, we have talked a lot about what these words mean and how they feel.
We sure have. I feel like I can actually have a conversation about this now without being confused.
That makes me so happy to hear, John. That is always our goal.
Thank you, Emily. This was a really nice chat.
You're very welcome. And to all our listeners, we would love to hear from you. Have you ever been to an iftar dinner, or do you have a favorite food for suhoor?
Yes, please tell us. We love reading your stories. It helps us feel connected to you, too.
Exactly. Leave a comment or send us a message. We want to know your experiences.
It's so interesting to see how people all over the world celebrate in different ways.
It really is. And in our next section, we are going to talk more about the specific foods people love to eat during this time.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I'm ready to learn more about those delicious dishes.
I thought you might be. Stay with us, everyone. We have more to share soon.
See you in the next part.
Suhoor. Yes, that is the word, John. Suhoor. It is such a beautiful, quiet word, don't you think?
Suhoor. It sounds very peaceful. But for our friends listening who want to know how to say this in English, how do we describe it?
That is a great question, John. In our vocabulary today, the first big expression is pre-dawn meal, Ramadan.
Pre-dawn meal. Let me think about those words. Pre means before, right?
Exactly, you got it. Pre is a small part of a word that means before, like preschool is before school. So pre-dawn means before the dawn.
And dawn. Oh, I know this one. Dawn is that lovely time in the morning when the dark sky starts to turn a little bit blue and gray, but the sun is not yet in the sky. It is very early.
Yes, John, that is perfect. It is that very quiet time when most people are still sleeping. So a pre-dawn meal Ramadan is the food people eat very, very early in the morning before they start their fast for the day.
Wow, I imagine it must be very quiet in the house during that meal. Maybe just the sound of a spoon or a glass of water. It feels very special.
It really is. It is a time for the family to sit together in the quiet. It gives them the energy and the strength they need because they will not eat again until the sun goes down.
I see. So if I'm talking to my neighbors, I can say, "Are you waking up for your pre-dawn meal?" Or, "What do you like to eat for suhoor?"
Yes, both are perfect. Our friends can use Suhoor and Iftar in English by using these simple descriptions. It helps everyone understand what is happening.
Aha! I feel like I'm learning so much already. Now, Emily, what about the other word? You mentioned it earlier, the one for the evening.
Ah, yes, that is Iftar. Let's talk about the Iftar meaning.
Yes, tell me, what does it mean when we use it in a sentence, or how do we explain it to someone who has never heard it?
Well, the simplest way to say it is the evening meal. But there's a more specific phrase we use. We call it breaking fast in English.
Breaking fast. Like if I run fast and then I stop?
Oh, John, no, not that kind of fast. This is a different meaning for the word fast. In this context, fast means a time when you do not eat or drink.
Oh, I see. So when you fast, your stomach is resting.
Exactly. And when you break the fast, it means you stop the resting and you start eating again. It's like breaking a seal on a box to see the gift inside.
Wow, I love that image. Breaking the fast. It sounds like a celebration.
It is a huge celebration. When the sun goes down, everyone is so happy. They have been waiting all day. The iftar meaning is really about more than just food. It's about the joy of finishing a difficult task and coming together with friends.
Smiling. I can almost smell the food now. People probably cook very delicious things for iftar, right?
Oh, they do. Usually they start with something small, like a date, the fruit, not the calendar day, and some water. They call this breaking the fast with a date.
A date. Those are so sweet and sticky. That must feel so good after a long day of not eating.
It does. It gives the body a little bit of sugar and energy right away. So when we talk about breaking fast in English, we're talking about that first moment when you take a bite of food after the sun sets.
I see. So we have the pre-dawn meal in the morning, which is suhoor, and we have the breaking of the fast in the evening, which is iftar.
You are doing so well, John. You are a natural at this.
Thank you, Emily. I just want to make sure I understand. It's important to use the right words so we can be kind and helpful to our friends who are observing Ramadan.
That is so true. Using these words helps us connect. When you know that suhoor and iftar in English mean the morning meal and the evening meal, it makes the whole tradition feel more familiar, doesn't it?
It really does. It doesn't feel like a big mystery anymore. It feels like something humans do together, sharing food and sharing time.
Precisely. Let's look at one more expression. Sometimes people say opening the fast instead of breaking the fast.
Opening the fast, like opening a door.
Yes, exactly like that. It's the same idea. You are opening the door to food and drink again. It's a very positive way to say it.
I like that. I'm going to open my fast now. It sounds very welcoming.
It is. So we have three main things we've talked about: the pre-dawn meal Ramadan, the iftar meaning, and the act of breaking fast in English. These are the tools our listeners can use to talk about this time of year.
I feel much more confident now. If I see my friend, I can say, I hope you have a wonderful iftar tonight, and I will know exactly what I'm saying. I'm wishing them a happy meal with their family.
That is so kind, John, and that is exactly why we are here, to help everyone feel comfortable talking to each other. Language is like a bridge, isn't it?
A bridge, yes, a bridge that connects my house to my neighbor's house. I like that a lot.
Me too. You know, John, thinking about all this food is making me a little bit hungry.
Me too. But wait, we have more to talk about. We haven't talked about what people actually do during the day while they're waiting for iftar.
You are right. There is so much more to the story than just the meals. There is the feeling of the day, the patience, and the community.
I know. I want to hear more about that. I want to know what it feels like to go through a whole day of fasting.
We will definitely talk about that. But before we move on, I want to ask our listeners a question.
Oh, a question. I love questions.
Friends, have you ever used these words before? Or maybe you have a different word in your language for a special meal. We would love to hear from you.
Yes, please tell us. It's so nice to learn from you, too.
It really is. Now, John, I think it's time we talk a little bit more about the spirit of this time. It isn't just about the clock and the sun. It's about how people feel in their hearts.
I agree. The heart is very important. Let's move into our next part, where we talk about the feelings behind the fast.
Exactly. You got it, John. Pre-dawn is such a clear way to say before the sun comes up.
I see. It makes sense now. It is the time when the world is still very quiet and dark. It must be very peaceful to eat then.
It really is. Now, John, I think it would be so helpful for our listeners if we practice these phrases together.
Oh, like a game?
Yes, like a game. I will say a sentence using our key words about suhoor and iftar in English, and you can repeat it after me. Then our friends at home or on the bus can repeat it too.
That sounds wonderful, Emily. I am ready. Let's do it.
Okay, let's start slow. Here is the first sentence. Suhoor is the pre-dawn meal, Ramadan.
Suhoor is the pre-dawn meal, Ramadan.
Very good. Let's try that one more time, just to be sure. Suhoor is the pre-dawn meal, Ramadan.
Suhoor is the pre-dawn meal, Ramadan. I like that. It feels like I am telling a story.
You are. You are telling the story of the morning. Now, let's talk about the evening. Are you ready for the next one?
I am ready. What is the word for the evening meal again?
It is iftar. So let's practice this sentence. Iftar is the meal we eat after sunset.
Okay. The iftar is the meal we eat after sunset.
Perfect. You said it so clearly, John. Let's try to make it a bit more natural. The iftar meaning is the meal we eat after sunset.
The iftar meaning is the meal we eat after sunset.
Aha, you got it. I love how you say sunset. It sounds so calm.
Well, sunsets are very calm, aren't they? It is my favorite time of day.
Mine too. Now, let's try a sentence that uses both words. This is important for learning suhoor and iftar in English. Listen carefully. Suhoor is in the morning and iftar is in the evening.
Suhoor is in the morning and iftar is in the evening.
Exactly. Suhoor is in the morning and iftar is in the evening.
Suhoor is in the morning and iftar is in the evening. Wow, I feel like I am really learning these words now.
You are doing great. Now, let's use the phrase for the end of the fast. Do you remember it?
Let me think. Was it breaking fast in English?
Yes, exactly. Breaking fast. So let's practice this sentence. Iftar is for breaking fast in English.
Iftar is for breaking fast in English.
Good. Let's try it again, a bit smoother. Iftar is for breaking fast in English.
Iftar is for breaking fast in English.
Perfect. You know, John, the words breaking fast are very interesting. It's like the word breakfast, right?
Oh, I never thought about that. Break fast. You are breaking the fast from the night.
Exactly. It's the same idea. But during this month, people wait until the sun goes down to have their big meal.
I see. That makes it feel very special. Can we try another sentence about the pre-dawn meal Ramadan?
Of course. Let's try the family eats the pre-dawn meal Ramadan together.
The family eats the pre-dawn meal Ramadan together.
That was lovely. One more time for our friends listening. The family eats the pre-dawn meal Ramadan together.
The family eats the pre-dawn meal Ramadan together.
Yes, it's all about family, isn't it?
It really is. I can imagine everyone sitting in the kitchen while it is dark outside, sharing food. It sounds very warm.
It is. And then in the evening, they do it again. Let's practice that. We enjoy breaking fast in English with our friends.
We enjoy breaking fast in English with our friends.
Again, we enjoy breaking fast in English with our friends.
We enjoy breaking fast in English with our friends. Aha, I like that one. It sounds very happy.
It is a very happy time. Now, let's try a slightly longer one. Don't worry, I will help you. I am learning about Suhoor and Iftar in English today.
Oh, that is a big one. Let me try. I am learning about Suhoor and Iftar in English today.
You did it! Let's try it one more time with a big smile. I am learning about Suhoor and Iftar in English today.
I am learning about Suhoor and Iftar in English today.
Wow, that was perfect, John. You sound so confident.
I feel confident. These words are starting to feel very familiar to me now.
That's the best way to learn. Just saying them again and again makes them feel like part of your own language.
I agree. It's like meeting a new friend. At first, the name is new, but then you say it many times and they become your friend.
That's a beautiful way to put it, John. These words are our new friends.
Exactly. So, Emily, do we have any more sentences for our practice?
Let's do one last one to summarize everything. Suhoor and Iftar are important meals during Ramadan.
Okay. Suhoor and Iftar are important meals during Ramadan.
One last time. Suhoor and Iftar are important meals during Ramadan.
Suhoor and Iftar are important meals during Ramadan.
Excellent! You have worked so hard today, John, and I'm sure our listeners have too.
I hope so. It feels good to practice together. It's not so scary when we do it together, right?
Not at all. It's actually quite fun. Now, for everyone listening, we would love for you to try these sentences yourself. You can pause the audio and say them out loud.
Yes, please do. It really helps. I can feel the difference in my own voice already.
Exactly. Even if you're alone, saying pre-dawn meal Ramadan or breaking fast in English out loud helps your brain remember.
That's a good tip. I'll keep practicing my iftar meaning too.
Good for you, John. You know, these meals aren't just about food. They're also about how people treat each other during this time.
Really? Is there a special way people act or things they say when they are eating suhoor or iftar?
Oh, yes. There's a lot of kindness and sharing involved. It's quite beautiful to see how people invite their neighbors or even strangers to join them for iftar.
Wow, that sounds very generous. I would love to know more about that.
I was hoping you would say that. There are some very interesting traditions and ways of speaking about these moments that we haven't covered yet. It's not just about the names of the meals, but the feeling of the whole day. Yes, like a game. I will say a sentence using our new words, and you can see how they feel.
I am ready. This helps me understand how to use suhoor and iftar in English in a real conversation.
Okay, here is one. I am preparing my pre-dawn meal, Ramadan.
That sounds so calm. I am preparing my pre-dawn meal. It sounds like a secret before the sun wakes up. I like that.
It really is like a secret. Now, John, I think it is time for our special part of the show. It is time for our question of the day.
Oh, I love this part. I'm always curious to hear what our listeners think.
Me too. Today, we want to know, which part of the day do you find more peaceful? The pre-dawn meal, Ramadan, or the evening meal?
That's a great question. It's hard to choose. To help our friends answer, let's give them 5 simple ways to share their thoughts.
Perfect. Here is the first one. I love the pre-dawn meal because the world is very quiet and dark.
I like that. Here's another one. For me, the evening iftar meaning is about being happy with my family.
So true. A third way to answer is, I prefer the breaking fast, in English called iftar, because the food tastes so good after a long day.
Oh, I agree with that one. How about this? The suhoor time is my favorite because I can see the stars.
That is very poetic, John. And the last one could be, I enjoy both suhoor and iftar in English because they make me feel connected to my friends.
Wow, those are all such lovely answers. It really shows how special this time is.
It really does. To the audience, we would love to hear your answer. Please write to us and tell us which time you like best. Your stories make us so happy.
Yes, please share. We're all learning together. It is so nice to hear from you. Well, John, we have talked about the names and the feelings, but there are also some very common things people say to each other during this time. Let's look at those next.
It really is a special time, John. I am so happy we could talk about Suhoor and Iftar in English today.
Me too, Emily. I think my favorite part is learning about iftar meaning. It is more than just food. It is about being together and sharing a moment of peace after a long day.
Exactly. Whether it's the quiet pre-dawn meal Ramadan or the happy feeling of breaking fast in English with family, it's all about connection.
I see. It makes me feel very warm inside thinking about it. I hope our friends feel that warmth too.
Me too. Well, friends, we hope this talk helped you learn these new words and feel more comfortable using them.
Yes, thank you for spending time with us today. We really enjoy having you here with us in our studio.
Take care of yourselves. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye, everyone.
Congratulations on making it all the way through the lesson with Emily and John. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button right in the center of your screen so you never miss our next lesson. You can also check out more videos right over here on the left or right side. We've picked them just for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.